Welcome to Multiversial, a show where a judge introduces a world that's just like ours, but with one key difference. To our two master debaters to argue if it's plausible and how. It's sort of like trying to get a point across on a Star Wars form. And, I'm your judge today, Leia, and allow me to introduce you to our debaters. We have the sensational Jennifer. She's amazing in every way. And we have Deacon.
Leia, I'm going to literally strangle you to death one of these days.
It's a joke that'll never die. So, are you ready for today's topic?
Yes, I am ready.
I am really proud of this one. It's really bad.
All right, I'm ready. Do it. Bring it.
All right. All houses. That means any home you have. Whether it be a hobbit hole for Jen, or a normal house for Deacon, or an apartment, or anything like that, or a mobile home.
Okay.
They are all sentient and alive. It's a symbiotic relationship between humans. Have at it.
Wait. How does that work when they're being built? Like, do they come to life when a certain requirement is met, or all the pieces that make the house alive? How does that work? Is it only alive when you decree it is officially a house by, like, the Safety Commission Board?
A tribunal of homeowners or homes bring them into life. So I guess instead of like construction for this, and it's not office buildings. Actually, it now is. It's office buildings. All architecture is alive and sentient.
Do they have conversation?
Yes, they can talk.
Cities are loud. So I would not want to live in a city, even more in this situation.
Imagine buildings. Hey, I'm stationary here.
Oh my god. Imagine trying to sleep, and you've got like an owl house, so it's up all night.
Yeah, it's going in your bed and being like, or its bed is basically like, your bed is its tongue or whatever. You're like, hey, you enjoying me? You enjoying me?
Hold on, how's furniture apart? Wait a minute.
Furniture is the inner workings of a house.
Well, you buy and replace it. We don't do that with our organs.
We can.
You can.
You know that's not how this works. You know what I mean.
So I love that that's not how this works. But we're gonna argue.
Because when you get a house, it's not pre-filled with furniture. So does it have no organs?
Sims. And some houses can be pre-owned.
You didn't
with
say it's
furniture.
like The Sims. You just said houses are alive. So I'm led to believe this is a normal functioning world.
How do you know the houses aren't alive in The Sims?
I guess I don't, but this isn't The Sims!
Can we get some clarification from EA and Maxis, please? Just to prove my wife wrong. But yeah, no, here's the... All houses are sentient alive, so
no,
like...
I understand that, but...
It's like that one, like, I forget what...
What is a
insurance
police
company it
station
is,
like?
But that commercial where it's like, hi, this is your house talking. I have a spider stuck between the window and... Can you take down the Christmas decorations?
Yeah, it's like cars, but they're houses.
But wouldn't furniture be more like clothing to a house? Like, that's where I'm confused. It can't actually be organs, because what happens when the cat scratches a couch? Does the house scream?
Yes.
No! You can't make things up! You have to, like, I've already figured this part out!
Oh yeah, sure, I'll just make this entire universe work.
Yes, that is the point of the podcast.
How many, do we have a counter set up for how many times Jen has said that exact phrase to me? Like in a cheeky, defiant way, I'm always like, do it yourself. I think I broke her.
So it's only houses. So I could live in a tent and I'd be away from this hell.
Yes.
Great, I'm living in a tent. Problem solved.
I mean, you could fit in a
fun.
tent.
Thanks everyone for coming to Multiversial.
We're
setting the universe on fire.
You would literally you would Animal Crossing it.
Yeah.
What?
There's so many problems with this. Like, oh my god, if I nail a photo up or something, it's screaming at me.
No, that's just one. Maybe the cat. Maybe they're screaming because they're allergic to the cat, and you didn't take that into their consideration.
My god, I have to worry about its allergies. What if it's allergic to people?
Well, then that ain't a house you stay in, now is it?
It's one of those abandoned houses on the side of the road.
Haven't you ever seen why? Haven't you ever wondered why a house is abandoned? It's not because the banks bought up all the property and it's more profitable for them to have an empty house and take in tax benefits than to give it to homeless people, for example. No, it's because the house is allergic to people. Come on.
So does that mean we can't choose to demolish houses? Like, they have to decide to, like, end it?
There's a tribunal of houses that speaks via Discord or Skype or whatever, and they're like, yeah, over on 123 Willow Street? Yeah.
No.
What about House Mafia? Like they do organized house crime?
Well, they can't move, so, like, they're
Mobile
not going to
homes
be
can.
very good at it. The mobile homes are allowed. This
I
extends
I said that. I said all buildings.
A vehicle's not considered a building, though.
Yes, but it's a home now, isn't it?
A car can be a home. It doesn't
Listen
have to be
to
a
me
motor.
very carefully, Jennifer. Jennifer, did I say the fucking term mobile home?
So all that's required
Did I say mobile home, Jennifer?
all that's required is the word
Did I say
home.
mobile home?
I don't remember.
I
I've been
did.
too busy thinking about my house screaming. Like, this place is 300 years old. That is not what I want to hear
It'd be
talking
like that
about.
one hormone monster from Big Mouth.
Yes, and I would hate every second of it. And I'd be living in a tent out in the woods.
Your house knows when you have sex.
How is this different than? Could you imagine an emotional supportive house though? Like the foundation's really well, so like it's very supportive. Hey, the house could also tell you when something's
Maya?
wrong.
Our house is older than a boomer. Do you think we'd have that house?
Oh, our house would be probably racist, huh? Oh.
Oh my god, no! I don't want to have the thought that the houses could potentially be racist.
We're gonna go into the real depths of
I
humanity
don't think it
here.
would. I think all humans would look the same to the houses, personally. Like, I don't... You know how, like,
Listen,
we know all the
all
species
of you are little bitches. Some of you are like, I'd love to visit or live in a haunted house.
That is completely different.
How is that
It is a
different?
completely different situation than living in literally the movie Monster House.
I've never seen that one.
Neither have I. They're good.
I just think about how
It's
much
all right.
my dad has destroyed walls in this house. What would the house be saying to him?
Hey there, fella, what you do? Ah!
Want to live in that? Oh
I
my
guess
god!
you'd have to really
Office buildings? What if the?
Okay, so
no,
hear me out.
No, I am not
I'm about to
finished.
talk.
Shush!
I'm willing to
shush,
get tracheal surgery
Shush!
that's cosmetic, and you're telling me that the houses couldn't be a champ and deal with some foundation improvements?
This is again about what you're choosing to do versus what you're being forced to do.
No, you have a
That's like
conversation
when
with
my
the house.
grandmother tricked my mother into getting me pierced when I was 10 in my ears. Because she bought me earrings and went, oops, I didn't know she didn't have piercings. Yeah, as an adult I wanted ear piercings. As a kid I didn't.
But I'm saying you could have a nice discussion with the house. You could sit down in front of the fireplace, drinking some tea, and talk to the house. You would never
What if
be
your house was
lonely.
just kinky,
Like when
know?
you had to talk to your mom about having your friends over growing up.
Okay, but hear me out. You would never be lonely. Think about an entire generation that's sad and lonely all the time.
What if they were Karen?
What if they're not?
Like, imagine your
Ooh, I
office
used
building.
what you used
like,
on me.
Imagine if their office building is a giant tattletale. Hey, your worker in cubicle 14's watching some YouTube.
Could you imagine that worker too? It's just like, yeah.
That'd be me. I'd be that coworker.
What about if okay, you're telling me that you wouldn't make a cool house.
I don't know if I'd have that choice.
No, I'm just saying, like,
to that
imagine a
point-
house like you. You wouldn't want to live with a house like that?
If it was a house like
Yeah,
me.
but-
Yeah.
What
yes, but at the same time, like we
I figured y'all
wouldn't
desperate
necessarily
for housing. This makes it cheaper.
you were saying, Deacon?
Tents would be
I
a
was gonna say
fucking
that, like,
luxury.
you wouldn't necessarily have like choice in the personality that your house has. I mean, you would pretty much just move into whatever house, fits your needs or that you could afford. And you don't necessarily have a direct say or choice in how that house, like what sort of personality they have. Like Jen was saying, I mean, in the situation with the office building being a tattletale, like you would have no idea until the thing is built, like what sort of, I mean, you've already determined its purpose before, it's built. So what if that office building wanted to be a small home?
All right, so, then maybe the office building talks to everybody else and basically haunts them out, and then ends up being a small community for a bunch of
Can
people.
you haunt someone out if everyone knows houses are sentient?
I think you could.
Also,
I could be a really annoying roommate.
Again, going back on the tattle house, like that definitely makes cops' jobs harder. Could you imagine all the tattle buildings?
Also, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. If I was working in a tattle building and it was like, the Deacon over here is sitting here watching YouTube, I would immediately kick out a window just to be a dick.
I mean, you all are so booty bothered by this and so defensive. Which one of you owns a house right now?
Okay, but like,
Imagine how desperate realtors would be to sell a house. Now be on your best behavior.
I don't see how this is my problem. Like that sounds like the poor realtor's problem.
It does.
I've already determined I'm living in a tent out in the woods.
But you wouldn't have internet.
I could have internet in a tent. I'd be ripping off, one of the neighbors' internet.
What if the house changes the Wi-Fi password every day?
I'll figure it out.
What? You figure that you'll figure out.
Yeah.
But you can't figure out
I'm cagey.
how to get along with a house being.
Because you've made them like people.
I think I'd like it.
I don't know. It seems, I'm trying to think of a way to to articulate this properly. But yes, I see the point of it being like, if you're lonely and like you would have a, whatever. But at the same time, this house knows everything that I do at every moment of every day.
So you're worried about the house narking on you?
No, just
Never getting to be
not
alone.
necessarily narking, but yeah, like no privacy whatsoever.
So you're worried about privacy? You're worried about
Kinda,
privacy?
I'm not. No, I don't know why you're looking at me. I'm not.
No. I'm just saying. Do you have a smartphone?
Yes, but I'm not like constantly on my smartphone.
Have you ever used the GPS app?
I mean, I have to every day for my job.
So you have to use that every day for your job.
Yes.
And that doesn't make you uncomfortable, but the living house
Leia,
does.
Leia, I'm not.
Siri knows what you're doing, Deacon.
Let me put this in the kindest way that I possibly can. I'm not. The phone doesn't know that I'm jerking off.
But what if it does?
Like, there's things that I want to do on my own in my own free time that I don't necessarily want my house knowing about.
Oh wait, if you have a plumbing issue, is that the house throwing up?
I mean, yes, I guess so.
Also, I was saying earlier, you guys were talking about renovating and stuff, and you were talking about like having a conversation with your house, and like your house is just like screaming every time that you break down a wall or whatever. I said something, and I don't know if you caught me saying it. I was like, but what if your house is just kinky? What if you just have kinky house?
Yeah, your house is like, oh yeah, give it to them. Oh my God, take them to the basement.
We're gonna have to. This is supposed to actually be like an all-ladies podcast. You're killing me.
Well, I mean, I'm just. The reason I'm asking is
It's
because
fine.
your
I'll
house
flag
is
this
just
one.
your house is just constantly asking you for renovations, and you're just like, why?
Oh my God! What personality do you think the Winchester house
I was
has?
literally about to bring up the Winchester house.
So
It
let's
wasn't
talk about
ghosts.
the
It was
Winchester
the house
house.
that made her do it.
So no, a little bit of fun tidbits about the Winchester house. You can Google it. It's supposedly a real life haunted place. It was created by one of the wife of he married into the family, right?
It's made by the family who made the Winchester rifles.
Yes.
So the reasoning is the woman who made it believes that the spirits of all the victims of the guns, through war, through crimes, everything like that, were haunting
everyone
her.
in her family died. So, yeah.
The only logical conclusion is to escape the ghost, she would build a 100-room house where she'd sleep in different rooms.
I think it's got more
every
than
day.
100 room. I think it has like almost 800. Some ridiculous number.
So she built the house in such a way that it was constantly under renovation to confuse any spirits that may be coming into the house, like looking for her.
Yeah.
So it would have like stairs that went into the ceiling, doorways to nowhere that just walked off the side of the building.
All right. Well, what kind of personality does that?
I was
house
way
have?
off. It has 161 rooms. The number 800 sticking with me, but I don't remember why. It could be there's a room with like 8 fireplaces in it, so maybe I'm just thinking of the number 8 from that. But
it's a wild house, but
it's 24,000 square feet. Anyway,
that house was either probably incredibly miserable, or
the doors and windows, would they be the eyes of the house or the teeth of the house?
Well, they say that the eyes are the windows of the soul. So
now my real question is, right? You got narc houses. So could you imagine you're trying to like make money off saying your house is haunted, and the house is like, no, it ain't. It ain't haunted. It ain't haunted.
Y'all always just go to the negative.
Or you got the pathological liar houses that are like, it's so haunted. It's super duper haunted. Like, do we not trust houses?
Do you not trust people?
It would make it would make busting things like like
an
drug dens easier.
I think it would make parenting easier.
You can just
Not
leave your
our
child with the
house.
house. Would you trust leaving a child with the house?
It's okay. I have explained it as this. It's pretty mainstream and comfortable, okay? So unless you want to live out in the goddamn woods by yourself, never meeting another human being, don't talk to me about, like, what if the house could be a killer? What if the house is a bad person? You literally react to people on a daily fucking basis, you two.
Okay. Can the house move any parts of it?
Yeah, you mean like it itself, like get up and walk away? Like
No,
you have a
I
battle
imagine
of-
it couldn't. Please don't tell me it can do that. No. Like, for example, if like a wood beam, there's something wrong, like one of the beams, right? Like, let's say one of the beams is trying to fall. Could the house be like, oops, sorry, and hold it up for me while I re-nail it?
Yes.
So weird.
I mean, Baba Yaga's house, though.
Okay, but hear me out. Yeah, some houses could probably even grow like little legs and then walk around.
Oh.
You had no problem with space wizards with laser swords, and this fantasy is what's killing you.
Because I want to be a space wizard with a laser sword. Why are you bringing up Star Wars in this?
Because
You're
I
so-
always love to. But also, hear me out. Because I would love to live in a talking house. Because I have ADHD and I get very lonely.
But again, you're assuming you get along with your house. Like, what if you don't and
Yeah.
you can't afford to move again?
What
That'd
if you
be the
got the
worst.
bum end of the stick and you got a house that is just an asshole, and you're or is just not compatible with your personality? It's always like,
Why
well, why are
do you
spending all
two
this money?
always fucking go to the negative?
Because the whole point of this podcast is to break
no,
down a
you
universe.
never, ever,
We're
ever.
debaters.
You never.
We are master debaters.
No, you are not. You are pessimistic Petees. You just always go to the negative. How? I am a realist, and I'm always the one with my eyes wide open, looking for a little bit of goddamn magic. And you were like, what if the house is a murderer? What if it kills your child?
See, I actually
What
didn't
if
say
it
that at all,
slaps you?
but now I'm concerned. Could the house, if the house can move things, could it kill you? Now I have to be worried because you introduced it having like internal arms and things.
I mean, my thing, I was just asking whether or not the house could be like judgy. Like, I bring home
I remember
why
in
is it you bring home like you have like 400 board games and you can't afford to put a new table in me? Like, ugh.
That
Like-
sounds like a relationship dynamic that you both love pets.
Yes. I don't live in my pet though. That would be awful. Because it would constantly meow at me for food, and I would hate every second of it.
You two are insufferable sometimes because I literally remember the card game one. Which one of you dumbasses was like, imagine if two surgeons have a disagreement and then boom, the surgery's on the table for a little bit while they have a fucking duel.
I think that was Deacon, but
You
you're not supposed to
always
bring
think
up
of these weird. You can't even just enjoy the fucking moment. It's a talking, living house. It will protect you from the fucking elements. What is so
it's a murder
bad?
house.
Wait.
We've been doing this for like 3
Wait!
fucking months.
Are planes alive?
Well, not necessarily planes, but buildings, airports, yes.
Yes, airports are alive.
No, because, okay, we've established that motorhomes are. I don't know what determines it. Like, what is the factor that makes it alive? Because you can live in your car.
You can't live in a plane.
Yes, you could. Why not? Tell me why you couldn't live in a plane.
Because
it has
they
a
kick you out of the
refreshment
plane.
area. It has a place you can cook, I think, on some planes. It's got seats. No, but what if you own the plane? What if it's like a little jet plane you own? You could live in it. You live in a car? What's the difference?
And that plane's fucking alive. If it can have a bed in it, it's alive.
So that's the requirement. A bed has to fit in it.
It has to be a bed.
The bed is the heart of the house.
I'm pretty sure they make planes.
Ew, y'all fucking.
Hold on.
Okay.
So trains are alive.
Trains are alive.
They have planes with beds in them. I'm looking at them. I Googled them. They exist. They're probably like freaking private planes.
Okay, you know what? All of you two are the fucking most insufferable debaters I have ever had the pleasure of being a part of a podcast with. Everything's about murder and bullshit with you two, and we are done. So I have a question. Would either of you want to live in this world?
No.
Deacon?
Leia, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to say no because your house is literally a mimic. And I don't know how I feel about that. So.
Are you not pro-mimic?
I'm not pro mimic. They're terrible.
We have mimics in our fandom.
I mean.
There's literally a follower. That's too many mimics.
And we also have professional.
We have professional mimics? Oh, we can never let this air.
I mean, whenever you touch a mimic and like they stick to you and then they bite you, it's not great.
Okay, well maybe the mimic's just a little kinky.
Oh my god, Leia.
Episode so much. It's fine.
Any episode with me, you have to warning. Anyway, so no. Is this world feasible?
No.
No.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
you're right,
unless you-
because houses aren't fucking alive that we know of.
Well, unless you're talking about like a smart house scenario.
Yeah, if it was like an AI,
Like-
that's the part I can't get over. I'm like, how is it alive? What determines it? But like a smart house, yeah, that would make
If
it.
it was like
feasible.
an AI like built into the house,
Listen,
I could
you're
see
looking
that.
at
but-
me like you think I'm saying it makes it better. It doesn't. It just makes it feasible. Those are two different things.
This one is gonna be like just us randomly like punching each other out on the thumbnail.
You mean it's you yelling at us? That's the entire
because
episode.
both of you are terrible.
We are doing the point of the show. But you're right. We could probably be a little more positive.
Everything.
Tell you what. If my house is like the cook in Haunting of Bly Manor, I'd live in that house.
Owen.
Yeah,
Oh,
I couldn't remember his name.
yes.
My house.
I
If
wouldn't
my house
live-
was Owen.
I think we would live in Owen. Yeah, Owen house. We shouldn't live in that actor who played Owen,
Yeah, no.
but they could live in us,
In our hearts.
in our hearts.
Oh god. Leia, please do the outro and end my suffering.
I'm trying. Thanks everyone for tuning into Multiversial and visiting this strange and dangerous, but not really dangerous world with us.
The murder house would disagree, but special shout out to our sponsor tier Patreon, Nejikumo, and all of our paid subscribers for keeping us employed making free content like this podcast.
Nejikomu.
Big thanks to our judge Leia for picking our topic today And for all you listeners, be sure to check out fierceferrets.com for all the great stuff we make and links to all of our social media and Patreon to help support the show. We promise you that none of that's alive.
See you in another time, in another whimsical, fantastical world that Leia created, strangers.
Actually, the next episode will be me. But